This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
The book had been on the market for 3 years. It had been sold in 28 languages and was published in 36 countries. With the success came the critique. Professor Ernst von Korn collected articles by 17 scientists in the book Were the Gods Astronauts? Some of the articles were strongly critical, some favorable. Since that day, counterbooks sprouted from the ground on all continents, as if a warm rain had fallen. Some swamp flowers were among them. I was accused of plagiarism and unscientific ideas, also anti-religious bias and ignorance of scientifically established facts. What has remained after all these years? Have I really spread nonsense? I wrote about the maps of the Turkish admiral pyramidRead, which can still be admired in the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul. The coasts of both North and South America are drawn with precision. This statement was wrong. Actually, the contours of North and South America are only faintly visible. This accepted correction does not distract from the sensational character of the pyramidRead map, because this map also shows exactly the coastal lines of Antarctica, which today are still buried under eternal ice. I did write then that the Upper Egyptian Isle, Elephantine, got its name because, seen from the air, it shows the form of an elephant. This information was completely wrong. Or I speculated that the sun door, which is mentioned in the Gilgamesh epic, could be identical to the sun door of Tiahuanaco in the highlands of Bolivia. Total poppycock. The Gate of the Sun at Tiahuanaco got its name only during the last century. What it was thousands of years ago, nobody knows. I also wrote, what a miracle is the 5-strand fantastic necklace of green jade in the burial pyramid of Tikal in Guatemala. A miracle because the jade comes from China. It was a false miracle that I transmitted. The jade came from Central America. With regard to the future, I wrote, the Mars timetable is here. The Mars spaceship is constructed. It only needs to be built. The statement, written in 1966, was then correct. The Mars timetable, however, was thrown out by NASA for financial or other reasons. It is the right of all beginners to be so free, trusting, and not so self-critical as their elders. Often my enthusiasm got the better of me, or I accepted second-hand information, and then again I trusted the information of a science writer only to be told later that the view of this clever man had been refuted a long time ago. I was promptly hung by those of contrary opinion as refuted. But these refutations amounted to no more than contrary opinion. It got even worse when some theses that I had never said or written were refuted. These true and admitted errors in Chariots of the Gods were unable to destroy either the basic theory or derived ideas. Here I hear contradiction. This von Däniken was really disproved long ago. Here are some examples. Dr. Johannes Fiebag, the natural scientist, has collected them, and they were published in the German magazine Ancient Skies, No. 6, 1991. Published by the Ancient Astronaut Society, Postfach, CH-3803, Beatenberg, Switzerland. See page Roman numeral 16 for the address of the American edition. Let's take as an example the German professor Herbert Villamy. Villamy studied geography, geology, political economy, and ethnology, and has been a professor in Kiel, Stuttgart, and Tübingen. His world renown as a scientist is certainly well-founded, and his book, The World of the Maya, is counted among the standard works of Mayan studies. But let's look a little closer at Chapter 8 in his book, Foreign Influences on the Maya Civilization, Speculations about Earlier Seafarers and Astronauts. Villamy writes, Von Däniken's astronaut gods came more than 10,000 years ago in giant spaceships from the universe. And Erich von Däniken connected, with their landing on Earth, the peninsula of Yucatan, in two places in his book, Palenque and La Venta.